Good day dear chess lovers, Soren here, and in today's video I want to share with you an amazing attacking game played by Garry Kasparov against Anatoly Karpov. This game is from 1990 Kasparov-Karpov World Championship match, and arguably this is the most famous game played between these two legendary players. This is game 20 and Kasparov opened up with e4, to which Karpov answered with e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. The good old Ruy Lopez is on the board, Morphy defense, and as Kasparov said, Karpov is not that good in Ruy Lopez as in Queen's Gambit, and I guess yes, he was very happy having these positions on the board. So we have the closed variation, which as you know requires a huge theoretical knowledge, and so far we are following a well-trodden path. All this had been seen many times as well as analyzed a lot. a4, h6, bishop c2, takes, knight b4, bishop retreats, c5, d5, knight d7, rook a3. Let me tell you that during their 1986 World Championship match, they had this position twice, and in this position, Karpov proceeded with c4. Both games Kasparov won, but this time Karpov chose something fresh and he went for f5. And it's not like that it's a novelty. For the first time it was used by Alexander Ivanov, and then we can see that several times in 1990 Karpov used against Kasparov. 2 games ended in a draw, and this is that same game which we are now analyzing. Rook e3 by Kasparov, knight f6, knight h2, king h8, b3, b takes e4, b takes e4, c4. A little bit strange move. Stockfish suggests rook b8, bishop a8, which I guess a little bit difficult to find. But f takes e4 is easier to come up, and looks like that this is a better try than c4, of course. White has a slight edge, but black is doing okay. Instead, in our game after b takes a4, Karpov played c4. He's offering the pawn, but winning it is not good, because black then can capture on e4, and then after several exchanges can win the pawn on d5. Black is just doing great. That's why after c4 Kasparov played bishop b2. Kasparov is putting the dark squared bishop on the long diagonal, and it's he who is making a pawn sacrifice. After f takes e4, knight takes e4, black captured on d5, but there came the rook g3. Rook e6, knight g4. In a position like this, a pawn or even a piece is not playing a role. We can see that white has an aggressive attacking position. 2 bishops are directed on black's king side, as well as this knight. In upcoming lines, a move like knight d6 can follow, and this queen is also ready to jump either on g4 or on h5. The rook can be useful. So yes, as I love to say, mobilization is in full swing, and it was in here that Karpov made a mistake, played queen e8. Let me remove the arrows and tell you that Peter is playing knight d3. Give back the pawn and neutralize that mighty light squared bishop. Instead, in our game after knight g4 we have queen e8, and at this point actually everything is ready to land a heavy blow. Without much hesitation or calculation, Kasparov went for knight takes h6. There are so many upcoming complex positions that you can't calculate all of them, but in a position like this, the sixth sense tells that it should work. Black played c3, but in here let's cover some interesting lines. For example, if rook takes h6, then knight takes d6 is coming. Now if queen d7, then queen g4. If rook takes d6, then check. And this is going to end up with a checkmate. Or after knight takes d6, if queen h5, then rook g5. And if queen takes d1, then check. Knight takes h6, and then rook takes d1. Still the pawn is pinned. If c3, then again check. King g8, bishop g6. And if you are winning this bishop, then rook h5 is coming and there is no defense. White is announcing a checkmate. After rook takes h6, knight takes d6, there is one more very interesting line. So in here, if black plays queen d4, queen g4, if, for example, queen takes g4, then knight f7 check, and then knight takes h6. If g takes h6, then check, and then this exposed king all the time is finding himself under a heavy storm, and this is how white can prevail. Let's now proceed with the game. So in our game we have this strange looking queen e8 move, and after knight takes h6, Karpov decided to neutralize at the moment the dark squared bishop. Knight f5, after which Karpov accepted the bishop sacrifice, and there comes the queen g4. Hitting above on g7, also now a check from h4 can follow. Karpov played bishop c8 and queen h4 check. Now if king g8, then king h2 is very strong. Then knight g5 in order not to allow to win the rook with the check. Karpov played rook h6 and knight takes h6, g takes h6, and here comes a very beautiful move by Kasparov. Yeah, like in the previous sideline, we have king h2 in order not to allow Karpov to win the rook with the check. Knight takes d6 is coming now. Queen e5 was Karpov's answer, and knight g5. Now if here, then just checkmate. After knight g5 we have queen f6 and rook e8. Bishop f5, queen takes h6 check. In here knight f7 is winning faster, but yeah, and this is an easy win. But after bishop f5 we have a queen sacrifice. Queen takes h6, knight f7 check, king h7, bishop takes f5 check. And now black is forced to give back the queen. Queen g6, bishop takes g6 check. Strangely in here Kasparov is not capturing with the rook, and then you can announce a checkmate. This is a checkmate. He played bishop takes g6. This is also of course winning, but not as quickly as rook takes g6. King g7 takes, bishop e7. White has a huge material advantage as well as a strong attack, and after a few more moves finally Karpov resigned. A very impressive attack by Garry Kasparov, which I hope that you enjoyed a lot. The attack was really very complex. If you have any questions, will be great if you will set the position on your software or on any online platform, and you will analyze those interesting lines. Those are very interesting, and I highly recommend to take a look at those variations once again. In the end, the chess puzzle for you, where the task is to win with the white pieces. There is a forced mate, by the way, mate in 6, and we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.